problem when I was a kid was that just raise your hand if your stepdad used to like to put his penis in your mouth and butthole. No? Okay, well, I'm going to take that as a no. Also a sound I made when my stepdad would put his penis in my mouth and my butthole. It's, I told you, keeping it real, and it's a real roller coaster. And it's tough, right? Because like when you're little, you know nobody else is doing it to you. So you don't know why he's doing it to you. But you assume like, well, my mom is like my mom, and like, he's my stepdad. Maybe this is like the job of your stepdad. Like, hey, I'll be a stepdad, I'll fuck your kids. That's not, as it turns out, the job of a stepdad. Someone should have told him. He would have benefited, and I would have benefited, I think, greatly from the knowledge. And the only takeaway from it, really, is that no one in my family ever believed it. It came up a few times throughout, like, I can't remember, it came up at like 15, it came up at 18, it came up at 25. Nobody would ever, they'd get so far with it. They'd be like, yeah, he beat the shit out of you. We remember you in the hospital, he broke your nose a few times. We remember, he would never fuck you. And you're like, so you guys think the line is punching the child in the face? You think that's where you say, okay, great. The only nice thing about him was, give me a minute. By the time I was 7, I could read better than he could, and so he needed me when he'd go to McDonald's. So when he would go to McDonald's, I'd get McDonald's because he needed me to order the McDonald's. That was the thing that was nice about him. What was not nice about him was the hand job on the highway to go to the McDonald's. Chicken nuggies are chicken nuggies. No, I didn't use it as a dipping sauce. Stop asking. It is disgusting. The worst part of it, hands down, was that he would make me rape my sister and watch. And my sister was 2 years younger than me, and so she doesn't really remember that part of it. What she remembers is the me part of it. And so for a long time we haven't talked. The reason we haven't talked is because she only remembers the me part of it. And like, you're like, oh yeah, I guess through that lens, it looks like I am your monster. Huh? Cool. Not nuts about that, but it is what it is. And the only takeaway as a 33-year-old homosexual man is good news if we ever talk. I feel like I'll really smooth things over by saying to her, hey, it wasn't your vagina I didn't like. It was all vaginas. So just know that, like, I also didn't want to be doing that. And I feel like that's all the proof you should need. Like, right? I feel like that's how you make amends with someone, right? That's horrible. And then when we were on the reservation with my dad, like, the time I was 12, when I was 12, it was time to stop living on the farm. Because I've been this tall since then. And you know what you can't do to someone this tall easily? Rape them. Or beat them up. And so one day I was in the bathroom, and my stepdad came in and just started it on me. And I ran across behind the feed pile down this weird little ditch, dirt road. And he found me, and he fucked me. And then he sent me home and said he'd be back in a while. So I got back in the shower to clean up his cum. And I heard it right. And it happened to me, not you, so just like lock in like a Marvel movie. So I heard him come inside, and I thought to myself, kill the motherfucker. And I got out of the shower, I left it running, and then I went down the hallway, the long way, out to the kitchen, which is the front of the trailer, grabbed a knife, back down through the hallway, and I swung at him. And I missed. And you know that, because I'm here in Northern Prison. And then he clocked me in the head, and I fell to the ground, and I'm naked. And so, like, that's embarrassing. My little 12-year-old wiener is just like, ow. weird to be the naked one for a change in the situation. But I knew that if he caught me, he'd kill me. I knew that, right? And so I grabbed the knife and I ran full length down the trailer and out the front door so that he didn't have time to snag me on the way out the side. And I ran across the ditch. I ran into the barley field across the way. And I felt bad when I hit the barley field because I knew the guy that owned the farm we lived on didn't own that field. So I was like, I'm trespassing. This is a crime. I'm fully naked holding a knife at 12 years old. Being like, well, this will probably end up in front of a judge at some point. So my grandfather was in the Korean War. And for some reason, that felt like relevant information for my brain to remember at this exact moment. I'm like, this is probably what Korea felt like, right? A barley field in rural Colorado. 12-year-old boy with a knife. So I dropped to my fucking knees. And I'm crawling through the barley field for hours. They cannot find me. They don't know where I am. Every once in a while, they see my little head pop up, and they go right back. Like a fucking gopher, you guys. Finally, the police are there. The fire department's there. The paramedics are there. And I can hear them, because it's the middle of nowhere. There's nothing to absorb the fucking sound. And now it's starting to get dark. And I'm naked in a field of barley holding a fucking knife. And then I hear the sound of a four-wheeler. And I hear my stepdad say, I'm going to go through the field and just see if I can see him. I'll try to go up the hill. And there's a blade on the four-wheeler, you guys, for like plowing snow. So I know that like, this is not, yeah, you're going to find me on the plow of the four-wheeler. So I wait, and I'm waiting, and I can hear him, and he's going back and forth, up and down the barley, right? Because it's crushing the barley as he goes. I assume all aliens are stepdads, just trying to keep their stepkids from talking about their rapes. Crop circles, anybody? It's so weird to be down here for this long, because normally in this position, I'm on a dick. Go quick for a drink. So, finally, I hear him sort of go back that way, and I pop up, naked, covered in barley, holding this knife, and I just, arms up, run full length at the police. I'm like, it's me, it's fine, I'm here, whatever, because I knew he'd kill me. So he took me to a psych ward, because obviously this was my problem. I was naked in a field of barley holding a knife. No adult around me had made a mistake. This was on me. I'm 12. I should know better. Put on underwear. At minimum, shoes. So I was in a psych ward, and while I was in the psych ward, I was there for like a month. And there was nothing wrong with me, right? I'd been abused. That was what was wrong with me, was I was responding to trauma. So I was very well behaved. People really liked me, which is horrifying. Because when people like you in psych ward, it feels like you're going to be there for a while. You're like, we're not making friends. Like, I am 12, not dumb. So finally my grandparents come and they visit, and they're like, hey, so what we figured out is that we are about to retire. We don't have time for you. But your dad does. So you're going to go live with him with your sister. So my sister and I go to live with my dad. Go to live with my dad for 2 years. While we're with my dad, I realized, yeah, I'm gay. I'm 12 and I'm certain. 13 and I'm certain. 14 and I'm certain. And then, you guys remember Xbox Magazine? It was pretty cool back in the day of paper. And pictures and colors. It was like Instagram, but in your hand. It came in the mail. And you go outside and you open the door and you're like, oh my god, it came! But at the back of it, for the October edition, October 11th, National Coming Out Day, 2002, 9/11 had just happened. We were all really united and shit. I, as a child, without the internet existing, thought, everyone's coming out of the closet today. This is it. They put out the bulletin. Clearly, I know who I belong to, because all gay people read Xbox Magazine. And they settled on a day.